at some point, you realize or you recognize that inaction is going to lead to something worse than action. I'd like to say this is sort of big moral thing, and there is that aspect of things. I want to stand by the truth, but at some point, you say, okay, well, if I don't act, disaster is going to occur. So I'm just going to act. Say, well, bad things can happen if you act. People get mad at you and they come at you and you get write-ups and people call you like cult leaders and white supremacists and all kinds of nonsense, right? Say, okay, that's bad. Don't get me wrong. That's not good. It kind of backs you into a corner, but that can also be good as well. You get resolution. And then you say, okay, well, if I do nothing, if I don't speak the truth that I know, what happens? Well, you have to think beyond your own life. Like I can probably stagger through the rest of my life, 30 years or so in the West or someplace and be well. But I got a daughter. She's got to grow up. She's got to have a place to live. She's got to have a culture and a country that she can call her home. So what are my odds? What are my choices? I can do nothing, and then disaster will accrue. Or I can do something, and then disaster may accrue. So you got to just find that tipping point, because the resolution is just clarity. That's all it is. It's just clarity. So people said, judging people by their skin color. It's like, I don't care about skin color. I don't look into the mirror when I get a tan, which is basically for me just freckles joining hands across the expanse of forehead. But I don't sit there and say, my friend got a tan, I don't like him anymore. I could care less about skin color. Skin color is a proxy for a whole mindset. You can very reliably determine voting patterns based upon ethnicity, based upon religion. Right? You don't have Muslim congresswomen in Congress because the Muslims objectively evaluated their proposals and compared them. It's like, oh, she's a Muslim, I'll vote for the Muslim, right? Oh, he's a black guy, I'll vote for the black guy. Oh, he's Indian, I'll vote for the Indian. Oh, he's a Somali like me, I'll vote for him. It's it. It's just a racial head count. It's an ethnic head count. It's all it is when you get multiracial societies. So people say, well, what are you so scared of? Well, it's not that hard to figure out. Non-whites, and by that I include Jews, non-whites vote left. And leftists, when they get unbridled power, well, they tend to attack, imprison, and kill people like me. That's a historical fact. And it's almost without exception. Well, it's no exception that I can think of. I mean, from the French Revolution to the Russian Revolution to the Cambodian Revolution to the Chinese Revolution to North Korea to Cuba to you name it. People like me get rounded up and shot. That's kind of clarifying, right? You say, oh, well, there's always so much courage. It's like, no, I'm going to be cornered. If things continue the way that they've been, I'm going to be cornered. I'm going to be dragged out of my bed, Roger Stone style, pre-dawn raid. CNN will be covering it. I'll be dragged out someplace, but I'm not going to end up with a $250,000 bail. I mean, I've read the Gulag Archipelago. I've read things that turn your stomach to squid. I know. You can see these horrible cartoons of how terrible it is in North Korean prisons and how sadistic and brutal and vicious people are. There are people out there desperate and thirsty for power who literally think I'm Hitler. What are they going to do when they get that power? They're not going to reason with me. I mean, look what they did to Kavanaugh. That's because they couldn't do more yet, but they want to. So when people come into my country and relentlessly vote for people who, in the long run, as it plays out, their descendants are going to want me dead and have the power to achieve it without consequence, it's pretty clarifying. It's pretty clarifying. A rat that's cornered will take on a wolf. Nowhere to go. I know how this plays out, historically. There's no question. So when people come into my country and relentlessly vote for the left, I know where that goes. I know where that leads. What am I scared of? Are you freaking kidding me? History? Reality? So you can try all this clinging to avoidance, clinging to, oh, I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want to go in search of trouble. Dude, trouble is in search of you. It's coming. And if we don't damn well do something, it's going to find us and it's going to end us.